Hi everybody, how are you all doing? Easter eggs. Someone said in the comments on the last one, please do Easter eggs, and they have been on my mind. They really have. And then in the news this morning, it was saying how the cost of Easter eggs has jumped as much as 50%, and has actually got smaller. So what do we know? I had done all this morning, and then I thought, you know what, I better really check. And I'm glad I did, because it looks like Cadbury's is not using Bovaer. Anything I've found, I'm going to put on the screen. You got to make what you will of it, but from what I can gather, Cadbury's is not using milk from Bovaer fed cows. There was a lot of misinformation when this all blew up in December of last year. Lots of people had found a very old article, 16 years old article that was in The Guardian about how Cadbury's are changing a part of some experiment. It was with the University of Aberystwyth, actually, how to changing the diet to sort of stop the cows from burping. And when I really deep delved, and I've got all the screenshots, so they will be appearing on the screen. We actually meant they were going to be fed with sort of what was it? Let me just try and pull it up. So it was 2009. This article, and it was saying how Carvery are going to curb methane emissions from burping dairy cows. And so lots of people last in December sort of assumed it was to do with Bovaer. Bovaer wasn't even on the market, or even, I mean, it may have had early tests at that time, because it's been 15 years where Bovaer's been being tested before it was put up for sort of commercial use. So it wasn't around then. But when you actually look at that article in The Guardian and click on it, it takes you to the article, and then it takes you to a further article that article was based on. And that article said Cadbury to curb methane emissions from burping cows. And I'll just show it on here, because then it helps me identify which one I'm talking about, because I've got quite a few screenshots. So where was it? Was this the one? Oh, hold up. So the earlier, the sort of the route to the misunderstanding, I don't want to say misinformation, but it's a genuine misunderstanding, I think, because I don't think people went further back. So so it goes on to say, said this scientist at this institute, which is where this trial was going on to try to reduce methane emission, the burping, said said farmers could help tackle climate change by growing grass varieties bred to have high sugar levels. White clover and bird's foot trefoil, you're seeing it on the screen, a leafy I don't know how to say that, legume. How do you say that? For their animals to eat. The altered diet changes the way that bacteria in the stomachs of the animals break down plant material into waste gas. That sounds great. Why wasn't that? Maybe it didn't work. But apparently this institute has started a new government research programme with the universities of Wales and Reading, maybe not Aberystwyth, that was just memory. I suppose it's Dr. Aberystwyth. Anyway, the institute has started a new government research programme with the universities of Wales and Reading to investigate how this process could be improved. A similar project in New Zealand suggested that dietary changes could reduce methane emissions from sheep by up to 50%, and that's with that change of diet. Eating any sort of grass varieties that are high in sugar. That sounds great, but there's no money involved in that. You can't lock farmers into that. So that maybe which is why it maybe never kind of got off the ground, because there was no profit to be made, which is actually a real shame. So that was in 2009, and that's what led this second article to sort of vaguely say that how Cadbury is to encourage its cows to burp less, because they were involved in that project. So that's where that misunderstanding started last December. So that's great. So it looks like Cadbury's aren't involved in Bovaer now, because lots of people used that to sort of say that Cadbury's are involved in Bovaer, because they were, to them, looked like they were suspiciously involved in something that looked like Bovaer 16 years ago. So and they're it's just they're not. Nestle are a little bit different. So I would be comfortable buying Cadbury's Easter eggs. That's all I need to say. Or even, I'm not happy about the fact that they're costing 56% more, which is what they were, because it was all in the news this morning about Easter eggs costing, 56% increase in cost, and they're getting smaller as well. So that's something that we've, part of this whole rising costs in food. Is it the cost of living crisis, sort of second Mark 2? I don't know. Nestle, slightly different story. Nestle have actually come out and I'll read it. It's on the screen. Ooh, hello. Just so I know which one to put on the screen. While Nestle has stated its support for Bovaer in its supply chain, the additive is a food supplement that is metabolized by cows, meaning it does not enter the milk. Well, with FSA, every time. The FSA have said there are traces, etc. I've shown that so many times on this channel. Nestle's position. This is the one I want to put on the screen as well. Nestle has stated its support for Bovaer and its use in the supply chain, acknowledging the potential for reducing methane emissions. And then I found another thing, because this is the thing, is trying to delve to find out if it's currently using this or using milk from Bovaer fed cows. I don't know. I'm not sure. So I would say proceed with caution, because this is the next thing I found. It will be on the screen, and it's the highlighted in red that I've circled that's interesting, in that it's sort of old, so I'm not sure. So this is this is to do with the Bovaer thing and a couple of companies that are kind of involved. It's all on the screen. So I'm reading the highlighted bit. We are testing Bovaer with 150 members with a total of 20,000 cows. The pilot will run until March 2023, says Jan Dirk van Morik of Friesland Campina. Reducing methane emissions is the fastest way to combat global warming. The demand for food with lower CO2 footprint from business to business, such as Danone or Nestle, is also growing. And that's where, Nestle have been involved in Bovaer previously. Whether they are now, I don't actually know. I can't find anything out. There is other things that are sort of positive, in that they are definitely Bovaer free. Lindt, is that how you say? Lindt, the Lindt chocolate. Where is that? Where is that? Oh yeah. So there's an actual statement from Lindt, just so we can know which one's on. Firstly, we do not have evidence that our milk suppliers are part of the Bovaer sub-project. Wherever possible, Lindt and Sprungly buys milk locally close to our production facilities. This approach allows us to purchase smaller quantities and maintain better control over our supply chain. While the use of the Bovaer additive has been approved in several countries, including Brazil, Canada and the UK, none of these countries are where Lindt has production facilities. Therefore, we can exclude the possibility that this substance has been used with the cows producing our milk at this time. So, I would say that Lindt aren't using it. Who else? Oh, there was this one. They do come across as quite expensive, so but it's organic, so they're Coco Loco. Any organic Easter egg's going to be 100% Bovaer free. It's just you're going to have a price tag to match. So yeah, I'd say Cadbury's were Bovaer free, and they're probably, I don't know. It's really difficult, because I'm not 100% sure, but I would say Cadbury's aren't, Nestle might be, Lindt aren't, Coco Loco aren't, because they're organic, and any other organic. They're limited options, probably why I was kind of slightly hesitant in talking about it, but I think that probably nails it a little bit. Yeah, that's it really. I just wanted to clarify the possible Easter. Easter's coming, so in fact I think it's in a week and so time, so hopefully this will help you a little bit. I don't know. It's it's one of those. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just I try and find out information and I pass it on, and then you kind of make that what you will of it, as it were. Yeah. So if anyone else knows of any Bovaer free options, let me know in the comments below. The hive mind that you are, you learn an awful lot. It did make me laugh on the last vlog, because obviously when I do the edible insect bug hunts, my prime motive is to show that there are literally no edible insects in our food as it stands right now. And the Tesco one was really good because I was able to show that literally there is no edible insects in the food chain at the moment. What will happen in 5 years' time, I don't know, or whatever time scales it might be, but at the moment there isn't. I really think there isn't. And also people were saying, oh, they could just hide it. They can't hide it. It has to be labelled. It absolutely has to be labelled. And the scanners would pick it up if it was in it. So you can't say that because it's just not true. So insect flour, whether it's cricket flour or mealworms, and they're the ones I'm really looking for, and black soldier fly, which have all been approved in that recent thing that happened at the beginning of the year. Nothing like that's in our general food supplies. Nothing like that's in our bread or anything like that. It just isn't. So that's really what these insect bug sort of checks are all about. It's just to show that they're not there. So when I'm not getting a hit, that doesn't surprise me. The red dye rather, said, did you know that? I didn't know this, and I really wasn't really aware of it because I've never bought Mr. Kipling. I might have bought Mr. Kipling 20 odd years ago, and it may be in other things. I don't actually know. But 70,000 of these beetles are crushed, and they're female beetles are crushed to create just £1 of red dye. But a lot of you were saying the alternative is really, really bad for you. So it's a toss up. But it's just interesting how we got the yuck factor for the mealworm, the black soldier fly. What else was it? There's two others. I can't remember what they are at the top of my head right now. But we're all right with I don't know how you say it. I'll put it here. How do you say that? Is anyone can say that phonetically? It would be really handy. Cochineal beetle. It's a cochineal beetle, and it lives on the prickly pear cacti. And I think they harvest it in Spain and another country. I can't remember it on the top of my head. But because it's been used for years, we're all used to it, and that's great. Personally, I'd rather avoid because, you know, I'm glad I don't use red lipstick because I think it's natural red 4 is what it is. Anyway, with regards to shop bought cakes, I'd always advise make your own because the sugar content in those cakes. So, you know, forgetting about the E120, which is the E number for the cochineal beetle, I don't know how you say it, that's E120. Yeah, but make your own cakes at home. It's a lot cheaper and you also get a lot more. So yeah, it was just interesting. So that's my little take on that. Just so you know, I'm deliberately looking for no insects because I really believe they're not in our food chain right now, and relabelling is required by the set down by the FSA, which rightly so because of the allergy risk. Anyway, I've just been and had a breakfast at Toby Carvery for my Nom Nom Reviews channel. It's all you can eat, although I only had the one plate, but it absolutely delicious. It's not out yet, but when this goes out, but it will be out. Check out that channel. I mean, I'm trying to grow it. I like food, you know, and why not? Why not indeed? Oh my God, it's getting hot in here. I'm going home for a coffee because I didn't buy coffee in there. Just stuck to the budget that is the Toby Carvery breakfast. It has a Yorkshire pudding, a breakfast Yorkshire pudding. Oh, absolutely delicious. Anyway, I'm off. Take care. Thanks everybody, and let's crack the Easter egg. Do you like that? Sorry, had to say it. Take care. See you on the next one. Bye.